off. Here we go.
Turn your cell phone on, just put it on vibrate. The bathroom's in the back, we guarantee there'll be a break. There'll be time to eat, there'll be time to mingle. All your needs will be met, so please turn your cell phone off. Turn it on, turn your cell phone off. Turn it on, turn your cell phone off. Turn it on, turn your cell phone off.
All right, everybody, it's time to get on your feet. Here we go.
Come on, everybody, let's go.
1, 2, 3, 4.
Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. Hey, say hello to somebody around you. Morning, David. How are you? Good. Thank you. Here we go. I know. Visually noisy. Please sit up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Everybody get up on your feet. See the light in everybody you meet. Let us be reminded of who we've come to be. We are love, we are one big family. Hey, hey, yeah, yeah. Hey, 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 yeah, yeah. Hey, hey, hey. All right. Good morning, everyone. How is everybody this morning? Yeah? Jeez, you guys had a good... It's so funny, you do that at the 9 a.m., they're like, And then I'm like, come on! They're like, yeah! You do it at the 11 o'clock, you're like a, ooh, 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 ooh. You guys are all ready to go. Well, good morning. Gary Floyd, one of my very favorite musicians in the movement, is here today. Gary, head on up. He just came down the mountain from Idlewild after entertaining 350 teens from our teen camp. So let's welcome Gary Floyd, everybody.
Sunshine, your eyes, dewdrops and dragonflies. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. Sing it with us. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. Your voice, waterfall, thrush song, coyote call. Oh yeah, I'm so grateful I'm alive. 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 So grateful. in blind bliss. Oh yes, I'm so grateful I'm alive. 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 Shadows I can see, endeavor to reveal another part of me, embracing all that I can see. Faith goes by me. Cut grass, jasmine bloom, honeysuckle in your room. Oh yeah, I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. Yeah, I'm so grateful I'm alive. 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 Yeah, I'm so grateful I'm alive. 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 Yeah, I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. I'm so grateful I'm alive. So grateful.
All right. Gary, Lynn Floyd. Whoa! Woo! Just love you.
Thank you.
All right. I'm so grateful you're all alive and here today. Isn't it great? Oh, it's wonderful to be here. So welcome. I'm Reverend Laura. It's wonderful to see you here today. And let's do our mission statement together, please. We are a dynamic, open, and positive faith community that accepts all religions. Our mission is to awaken you to your divine nature, empowering you to create the life of your dreams. We are changing lives one heart at a time. Oh, I love that. And I love your second song because that kind of goes with that, doesn't it? It's wonderful. So this is the part of our service where I do the faith news. And so what I'm doing is I'm kind of giving you a little preview, kind of warming you up for Dr. Joe. No. And, oh, he's back there. I didn't know he was back there. Busted! Anyway, so this is kind of what I want you to focus on in his talk today. So Viktor Frankl said, "What gives light must endure burning," and being with the fire's heat doesn't just mean sitting with a difficult situation in meditation going, Om, it's all good, Om. But also going into it, trekking to its core, facing and entering and getting intimate with whatever is there, however scary or traumatic or sad or raw. And so Dr. Joe's going to be talking about a spiritual bypass. And so what happens is, we always say it's all good because it's all God. Well, it doesn't necessarily feel that way. And so we don't want to ignore things that are going on in our life, but we want to really delve in and find out, why am I creating this? Why is this affecting me in my life? Otherwise, we're just putting our head in the sand, and that's not what we do as religious scientists. We treat and we move our feet. And so whatever it is you want to experience, you need to step into it. You can't ignore it. It was like when I talked about my heart issue a couple of weeks ago. When the doctor told me about it, I didn't just say, I said, no, that's not the truth. That's what you see, but that's not the truth of who I am. And so then I took action. I said, okay, what can I do to help my heart? And I did my exercises and so forth. So, that's what we have to do. That's our spiritual responsibility, is to look at something, but then look for the perfection and move towards that perfection. So listen to that. And Dr. Joe's talk, he has some great examples of how you step into that. So have a wonderful day, everyone. Thank you.
Thank you, Laura. So let's move into our meditation right now. Let's close our eyes, take a deep breath in, and exhale out. One more time, deep breath in. Exhale on the, there we go. So I read a thing this morning. Buddha was asked, what did he get out of a meditation? Out of doing meditation, he said, it's not what I get, it's what I release. It's what I let go of. So this morning, that's what I'd like us to do. I would like us to release and let go of any stress or strain or tension, any fear, any anxiety, any idea of lack or limitation or dis-ease. And once we let that go, we're open and receptive to a new idea, which during today's service, I know that will come to you as well. So right now, just surrender those things and go into that quiet place. Let's take another deep breath in. All to Spirit I surrender. All to Thee I freely give. I will always love and trust You, and in Your presence daily live. All to Spirit I surrender, and all that's good is wholly mine. In Your presence, in this oneness, through You I am power divine, and I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit, I surrender all.
Good morning, Center of Spiritual Living, Palm Desert. God's love is an endless sea. It is a presence that is always available. God's power is all-loving and a perfect intelligence from which everything is created. God's life is my life. Wherever I am and all that I do expresses the abundance of spirit. The gifts of the universe are revealed for myself and for all others listening to the sound of my voice. And how good it is to know that I do live in a spiritual abundance, breathing in the eternal breath of God. Events in my life are real. I do not live in a world of make-believe, sometimes referred to as a spiritual bypass. I know that life is sacred, eternal, and divinely guided. I let go of all old thoughts that I no longer need, and I step into the empowered kingdom of heaven right here on earth. I live my life in glory, illuminating the light of God. So, in gratitude, I witness the magnificence of God And I know that God's life is always there for me, no matter what. I believe I will always be provided for and taken care of. So in gratitude, I release my word to the law, knowing that it is done. And together we say,
So it is.
so it is.
Amen. And I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. And I surrender all. I surrender all to Thee, my blessed Spirit. I surrender all. Let's take a deep breath in. Please join me. I send my love over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens. And it returns to me. Sending out joy. I send my joy over the mountains. I send my joy over the sea. I send my joy into the heavens, and it returns to me, sending out peace. I send my peace over the mountains. I send my peace over the sea. I send my peace into the heavens, and it returns to me. Let's sing out our love. Send it out. I send my love. Come on, let me hear you. Over the mountains. I send my love over the sea. I send my love into the heavens, and it returns to me, and it returns to me, and it returns to me. Last time. And it returns to me.
One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all the creation, no separation. We are one, one heart. One heart, one life. We are one family, one earth, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. And together we can make a difference in our world. Every creed and color, every boy and girl, all the creation, no separation, no separation. We are one heart. Even though it seems we are so far apart, many times we're feeling all alone. The truth of who we are has been here from the start. We are one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth, one heart, one life. We are one family, one earth. Together we can make a difference in our world. every creed and color, every boy and girl, all of creation, no separation, no separation. We are one heart, one life, one world, one love, one heart. Creation celebrate. One love, one heart, one mind. All creation celebrate. One heart, one life. All creation celebrate. One heart, one life. One heart, creation celebrate. One life, one world celebrate. One heart, all of creation, no separation. We are one heart, one heart.
Gary Floyd.
Let's hear it for Gary, everybody. Thank you, Gary, man. Thank you. Let's hear it for these singers, too, in this band. They did a great job, too, don't they? Yeah. They're working it out. So today my talk is called Don't Fool Yourself. And don't fool yourself. Many times, like Laura was saying in her faith news, she said many times in our life, when something goes on or something's happening to someone else, we say, oh, but you know what, we don't see it that way. We just have to say, you know what, it's all going to be okay. It's all fine, you're good. You're perfect, you're whole and complete. And you're like, you're screwed. I have never met someone more wrong in my life, right? It's like when people say that to you, you're thinking, no, it's not. I'm not feeling that way. And there's a spiritual reality about that. So we can't fool ourselves into thinking that everything's okay until we actually go through a process. So today, we're going to walk through a process on how to get there. In the science of mind, we do not say everything is all right when it's all wrong. We do not say peace when there is no peace, but rather to try to discover what is wrong and why we do not have peace. So we don't say, oh, everything's perfect. No, we go, okay. Now, some people do that, but we're saying, actually, look at what it is first, and then let's discover why it is what it is. We have to figure out the base, the reason, the cause of it, the first root cause of something so we can fix what the effect is. We do not say that people are not poor, sick, or unhappy. We ask why these things should be if the original cause of all things is harmonious, perfect, radiant, and happy. Oh, my God. Who has a house like that? Anybody live in relationships like that all the time? The happy, harmonious, perfect? Any of you do? Write a book. Because a lot of people have written books and it hasn't worked yet. So if you have it yourself, you go for it. But we have to ask the original question. If this is supposed to be what we are supposed to be having in our life and how we're supposed to move about in our life experience, if we're not coinciding with that, if we're not aligned with that, if we're not experiencing that, it's not enough just to say, oh, it's okay. It's not enough to say that it's going to, everything's going to be all right. No, we know that, but there has to be something beyond that. We are not limited by actual boundaries, but by false ideas about life and by a failure to recognize that we are dealing with the infinite. Here's one of my biggest downfalls. Sometimes when something happens, I immediately label it. Anybody? I immediately label it. And I was thinking about this. During the meditation, something came to me. Does anybody work with Excel spreadsheets? You know what I'm talking about? For those of you who don't know what Excel spreadsheets are, imagine having all this data in line after line after line, and let's say it's just all jumbled up. It's not alphabetized or anything. Well, there's this special, what I call it spiritual sorting. Spiritual sorting. What if you could take the mumbo-jumbo stuff of your life and just hit a spiritual sort key and suddenly it all goes into order? Wouldn't that be cool? I'll take 10. I'll sell them. We'll make millions. But think about it. We do have a spiritual sorting because our lives appear like that. There's just random things that happen and all these things, and we can't make sense of it. But if we were to put it into spiritual perspective and hit that spiritual sort button, it would go, you're going to be okay. This is going to be okay. You're still going to go through all this stuff, and it's going to be okay. Does that make sense? So, and because why? We're dealing with an infinite presence, not just my power, but an infinite power, not just your power, because my ideas are the thing that I'm already experiencing. All those things lined up in that little column, those are the things I created. And I co-created with the universe, but I created every one of them. So if I need to have a new column that's all sorted out and expansive, that has new things happening to it, I have to make sure I open up a new column for it to begin. Does that make sense? I can't change the old column. Those are the things that are done. I need to create a new column so that I sort all that stuff up and then I start a brand new idea. Limitation is a human experience, but is not the fault of God. It is the fault of our perception. And to prove that this is so, let anyone break the bonds of this false sense of life, and they will at once begin to express less and less limitation. So imagine that. Once you get rid of that, and you know what, I see this all the time in classes that we teach. I see the aha moment. People, and actually here on Sundays, people have that aha moment, and their lives begin to change. There's this thing that happens. It's like the tipping point, a spiritual tipping point, where suddenly you go, oh my gosh, this stuff is really working. I'm really putting it into my life, and when I do it consistently, my life looks consistently good. It gets better and better. I don't have to always backtrack to the way it was, and if I do, I don't spend much time there. If I do, I don't spend much time there. I was telling the earlier service, I want to go to a new 30-second rule, all right? You have 30 seconds to complain about something or go, oh my God, and be a drama queen, right? When something happens, you got exactly 30 seconds. And then after that 30 seconds, you got to go, okay, it's part of a universal plan. I don't know what it is, but there's a universal plan. So for 30 seconds, you get to have all the drama you want. And text as many people as you can. You'll be driving down the road going, oh my God, this is happening. I only have 30 seconds. I got to pull over. You have 30 seconds. But on the 31st second, suddenly you got it done. And then a new column is created. Does that make sense? All right, the one practicing must be able to look at a fact in the face and know that all manifestations are effects and can be changed by changing the mental cause. This is like a Science of Mind 100. We look at things knowing that we can change them. The second you look at something and say, this is impossible, it cannot change, that in and of itself is a prayer that will be answered and you will not change it. I know, easy stuff. Next thing. We must see beyond the appearance to that which is basic, bless you, that which is basically perfect. This will not be irrational to the one who has made a careful study of the science of mind and spirit. So we have to look beyond the appearance of something, and we have to look at it in a sane way. Now, this is a challenge because sometimes you look at things and you think, this is so screwed up. I have no earthly idea, which is a true statement, by the way, earthly idea. I have no earthly idea how this is going to work out. Has anybody felt that way before? Yeah? 8, 12, 15, 30. Okay, good. All right. Well, okay, good. I was going to say, you people, good for you. All right. So but we have to look at it rationally and going, okay, I may not be able to figure out how this fits in here. And that may be my whole problem is I don't know where something in my life that I'm experiencing, how it fits in the next experience that I'm having. But if I believe that the ultimate goal is happy, harmonious, perfect health, abundance, all those things, if that indeed is my baseline, and that's what I know the universe wants for me, then whatever I'm experiencing, I have to know is part of the fit. Does that make sense? And not have a fit over the fit. Or you have 30 seconds. You have 30 seconds to have the fit. Can we get the ceiling fans on? Because I'm starting to perspire up here. Sorry. You're in the wind zone. Hold on. This is the hormonal imbalance zone. All you women with hot flashes, there's your home right here. Come right there. Or men with hot flashes, this is right here. This is it. This is where you... Okay. We do not pretend that the events in our lives and the lives of those around us are not happening. This would be to live in a world of make-believe or spiritual la-la land. This is where sometimes Metaphysics and people who believe in metaphysics look like they're on crack to their friends. Or drunk, or on meth, something. Whatever it is, you're on something, because living in spiritual la-la land, when you tell somebody who's in the hospital, who's, all hooked up to everything, oh, you're perfect, whole, and complete. And they're like, get the hell out. Who are you? Do you not see me here? Do you not see me pushing the morphine button? I mean, what part of you is missing my reality? What part of you is missing my reality? And that's true. Some people do that. And I know I have made the mistake of saying things like that. And yet when people say it to me, I'm like, oh, no, you don't get it. I don't want to hear that right now. Right? Do we want to hear that when we're in that? No. But there are things we do want to hear, and we have to learn how to see them and phrase them. And that's what we're going to learn today. That's coming up. This would be to live in the la-la land. We often hear this sort of behavior is described as a spiritual bypass. We think we can go around it. We think we can go around it with not acknowledging what is it. In the early 1980s, John Welwood, a Buddhist teacher and psychotherapist, introduced the idea of a spiritual bypass. A spiritual bypass, or spiritual bypassing, is a tendency to use spiritual ideas and practices to sidestep or avoid facing unresolved emotional issues, psychological wounds, and unfinished developmental tasks. What happens is we do a spiritual bypass. We see what it is, but we don't deal with it. We see the dysfunctional relationship, we do a spiritual bypass. Everything's so good with God, but it's not in your relationship. You have to do stuff to make that happen. If everything's good with God, okay, yeah, you're right, everything's good with God. Now you got to get one with that. You got to get one with the source. It's not going to happen if you do a spiritual bypass, because that ignores the actual causes of the reason that you need the bypass. No, that would be a good. You got that one, all right? So that ignores what we have to, what we're looking at. You can't do a spiritual bypass. It's a through, not a passing. Does that make sense? You can't go around. You can't go around it. You have to go through it. And while you're through it, you can't become it. Yeah. See, that's when you have to look at, a health condition. That's when you have to look at a relationship, or you have to look at financial issues or something like that, or not having the right job and employment, whatever that is. You can't become it when you're working through it. You have to have the vision of something beyond it. If you don't have the vision of something beyond it, then while you're sitting in that stuff, you will become more of that and less of the vision that you have in your life. Does that make sense? We talk about this, without a clear intention and vision, without that clarity on the other side, you continue to swim in it. And swimming in it's not going to fix it. That's just creating more of it. There is a difference between recognizing the circumstances on the human plane of existence and then claiming the spiritual truth, as opposed to refusing to recognize the human experience completely and saying everything is perfect, when any thinking person can see for themselves that in the moment everything may not be perfect. Any clearly thinking person can see. And so when you go in with your metaphysical stuff and try to go, poof, you're healed. Poof. They're looking at you, No. Any thinking person knows that you have to just walk through this. So, turn away from the condition. Here we go. This is, if there is the 30-second rule I want you to take away, and if there's one more thing I want you to take away today, it's this. Now, I have read this probably hundreds of times over the course of the past 20 years studying science of mind. I've read this paragraph hundreds of times. And when I read it this week, for some reason, I just read it with different eyes and different ears and a different feeling. And I want to share it with you because I think that this is something that we all do, that we can fix our projection of ourselves and for other people. You ready? In practicing spiritual mind healing, we must turn entirely away from the condition. I'm like, to me that kind of sounds like I ignore it, right? No. Here's what he says. Ernest Holmes said that if you walk into a hospital room and see a sick person, turn around and walk out. Wait, what? Why would he say that? If you walk into a hospital room and you see a sick person, turn around and walk out. Why? Because if you see a sick person, you're aligning with the illness and not the perfection beyond the illness. Do you see what I'm saying? When you walk in and you see a sick person, or you're walking where there's scarcity or fear or financial hardship, or you're walking into a relationship that's difficult, and that's what you see and that's what you start talking about, what have you done? You've created more of the same. You've actually connected to the illness instead of projecting into the healed condition. So I know for myself, this is one of the biggest challenges. When I became a minister, and in fact, Laura was shared with the first service, one time she and I were going to visit someone up in the ICU, and I was kind of telling her, look, you got to get ready for this, because, and you can't look at this stuff as the stuff that's going on. You can't see the tubes, and you can't see all the stuff. You can't look at the physical person. You have to see through that to that individual, because the second you start aligning yourself with all the stuff that's going on, you're aligning yourself with the illness and the situation. You're not doing that person any good. Now, you don't have to do it out loud. Here's where everyone comes in the mistake. Yeah, this is the one where silent prayer is worth $1 million. Because, again, other people are going to go, don't. Like, okay, so for example, I give Reverend Marion as my prime example. Anytime anything happens to me and I'm unable to see myself clearly, Marion gets the call. Blessed little Reverend Marion over here. You're going to have to stay alive for another 100 years, so just bank on it. As long as I'm here, you got to be here. And what happens? I don't talk to Marion. I have no conversation with her. Trey gives her some information, and Trey hangs up. And guess what? After that information is received, Reverend Marion's like, I'm on it. Which means she doesn't hear anything about what Trey says of the condition. She only sees the perfection of the person unfolding. Because the second you align yourself with any condition, you've created more energy around the condition. So we project ourselves into the healed state, whatever that may be. And sometimes the healed state for some people may be on this planet, and it may not be on this planet. But however it's done, we see them in their wholeness. We see them restoring to their wholeness, divine restoration. Does that make sense? He goes on to say this: we must be able to see the spiritual perfection even in the appearance of illness, lack, or limitation. This is one of the paradoxes of our teaching. We must honor the experience that is the outpicturing in the physical realm and know the truth of the situation in the spiritual realm. Now you have to look at a situation and you have to go, in the physical world, yes, but in the spiritual world, yes. This is the way it is here, and this is the way it is there. And you have to let go of what it looks like over here and start reflecting only on what it looks like in the spiritual realm. Then you're on the right course to healing for yourself and for others. And again, you don't have to do it out loud. You can do it silently to yourself, that someone's highest and best good is unfolding. Don't go through the particulars of telling God how to be God. Just see their highest and best good unfolding. See the light of the individual or the situation in that, and see the highest and best good unfolding for all concerned. That doesn't mean you dictate or outline how that takes place, because we're not God. But we are the activity of God, and certainly we bring our energy into a situation. So that's the way. So when you see someone sick, if you see them sick, you don't see them correctly. And that includes yourself. The mirror is hard to look at when you hear this, because it's easy for me to do for someone else, because now you're like, oh, wait, what? I have to look, no, that's not working for me. But see, it's not just for them. It's also for me to look in the mirror and see that reflection of myself. If I see myself as wounded, yeah, I remember, this is funny. I remember I was going through an emotional situation, let's just call it that, again. And I remember crying, and then I remember looking in the mirror, and because I was crying, it made me cry even harder. I mean, I actually just kept growing. And I'm like, now I'm a mess. And I'm looking at what a mess I am on top of the mess that I've made. Anybody? And now I'm just a wreck. And now because I'm a wreck and I've made a mess, and now I'm a mess over the mess that I made, it just kept flowing, all this stuff. And I'm like making it 10 times worse. So it's like, nope, Joe, this is a new technique. You have to, when I look and I feel broken, I can't look at the brokenness. I have to look at what it is to be whole again. Spiritually whole. Spiritually whole. Sometimes the physical body can't catch up with the spiritual body. We know this? Anybody? Okay. But we can be spiritually whole and happy. Here's another thing that I want to talk about. When you're turning away from the condition, make sure that while you're in the middle of it, you don't become more of it because you're swimming in it. You have to make sure that you've actually seen yourself out of it and see the other person out of it. Because again, when you become it, when you say, I have cancer, or I have this, when you say, I have something, you own it. We've talked about ownership. That's physical ownership. I own it. And the universe can't take away something that you own. And once you start talking it, it becomes your sole focus. Here's where, and I to blame too, when I have something going on, suddenly all my focus and energy goes there. You know, and I see it happen in people's lives all day, all the time. All their energy and all their focus goes to the thing that's not working. I'm thinking, no. Let's just have it alongside of us and also live our lives with this next to us. And stop allowing it to be the sole focus of attention. Yeah, there's not one person in this room that's not dealing with something. Except Marion. Her and Moses worked out a deal a long time ago. Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John were all over for dinner one night, and they figured it out. So, you know I love you. I was over at her house yesterday. If you ever need a spiritual awakening, that one will. Spiritual slap me. Where was I? Anyways, I lost momentum. But you know, you got the point, right? Are we all good? Good. Next thing. Dare to speak and know that what you speak is the law unto the things spoken regardless of what the condition exists. This is the best line here. One alone in consciousness with the infinite. One aligned with spirit, okay? One in alignment constitutes a majority. You don't need consensus. You don't need the opinions of all these people. One person, you, in alignment, not crazy, after the 30-second cooling off period, right? Now that's why that's there, because when you're in the 30 seconds, you're not anywhere in alignment when you're in the 30-second crazy person state, okay? Get out of the 30-second crazy person state. See that you are that human being having the spiritual experience. See that spiritual truth of yourself. And then remember, one in consciousness, one united with the idea of harmony, peace, happiness, joy, love, abundance. When you and the God within you is aligned with that, then that's a majority. And the healing will begin to take place. You don't need to gather the opinions via email or otherwise of everyone else as to how you should heal this. You don't need healing by consensus. You need healing by consciousness. Write that down. Write that down. Somebody write that down. That's going in my book. I don't know when the hell the book is going to come out, but it's going to be good. You don't need consensus, you just need consciousness. You need an understanding, you need an alignment. One with that, and you got it done. That's the one and done right there. Right? Next thing. We cannot separate our human experience from the truth or our divinity any more than we can separate our divinity from our humanness. Let me say that again. We cannot separate our human experience from the truth of our divinity any more than we can separate our divinity from our humanness. Why? Because they are one. There's no way to go on a spiritual search for God. It never moved. It's always been there. What happened is we put life experiences in front of ourselves, so we're not experiencing that alignment with it. There's just a bunch of life in front of that alignment. That's another one. Life in front of the alignment. That's another whole talk. I'm rolling them off today. I feel like Michael Beckwith. Heel. Wow. All that we are, both human and divine, makes up our reality. I love that idea. All my humanity and all my divinity, that makes up who I am. One does not erase the other. And so it does make sense. Perfect God, perfect you, and perfect me. And now, the definition of perfect has to change a little bit. But I'm perfectly imperfect, right? We have life experiences. But when it comes down to it, my humanity and my divinity, they're one and the same. And the second I understand that and really believe it, not just believe it because it's convenient to believe it from now until 11:30, or 2:30 in the afternoon, but to actually carry that idea with us. If you carry that idea with you, you will see that in your life, the experiences will unfold so that that perfection exists. And you will see that when things are a little bit off, it's okay. It's part of this process of getting to where we need to go, right? And things may be a little bit off in the world, but it's a part of a process of getting us where we need to go. Let's just accept that as our spiritual truth. That there is a divine spiritual truth there as well. And you get 30 seconds to complain about it. And then that's it. Boop, boop, done. One does not erase the other. Perfect God, perfect you, perfect me. 30 seconds. That's all you have. Watch the way you look at yourself and watch the way you look at others. That's all we have. When you're in alignment, when we are more in alignment, you can't be less of. You can only be more of. When I'm in that aligned space, that whole revelation of truth comes to me, and things begin to work out in ways that I couldn't explain otherwise, because the Joe brain is out of the way. Make sense? Yeah. So end your lesson. Thank you, everybody.
So is there a limit on how many 30 seconds you get a day?
Well, they can't roll into each other.
Oh, okay. I just wanted to get clarity, just in case other people were wondering. All right. For those of you that you can text your offering, the live stream, or anybody here. It does take about 5 minutes to set up, but it's fabulous once you do it. That's how I do it. I just type CSL in my message, and it comes up, and I type in the amount I want, hit it, and then it says, thank you for your donation. But it does take a little bit to set up. But you've got to go to that number, and then once that's in there and you've got it set up, it's easy peasy, right? So anyway, at this time I'd like to call up our ushers. I should have called you up sooner. But anyway, those of you who are live streaming, or even if you're here, set that up. It's a wonderful way. And then you could go back and see all your offerings for the year, how much they were, because they'll be saved in your phone. So anyway, let us say our offertory prayer together, please. I offer this gift with joy and gratitude. I receive freely and give freely, knowing the law of circulation is working perfectly in my life and the life of this center. All right, thank you.
All right, you know the lyrics, let's go. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. One more time through, come on. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. It's up to me to be thankful. It's up to me to be kind. It's up to me to be grateful. It's up to me. It's up to me. Everybody up. Come on, let's sing it together. Come on, stand up. Let's go. Come on. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Last time. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life. Every day I wake up and I say, today I love my life.
All right. So this is Ginny Wiseman, which many of you know. She started our pet ministry. This is her 10-year anniversary.
This month,
Yay.
I came and I sat in that seat and I never left.
Yes, yes, yes. So anyway, thank you, Ginny. So let's say our offertory blessing together, please. We bless this collective offering and receive it with gratitude, knowing it is spirit in action. As this currency flows through our center and beyond, it blesses many lives, including my own. All right. Thank you, Jenny. So at this time, I'd like to welcome our visitors. If you are here for the first time, please stand up. Don't be bashful. We have a gift for you, and we'd love to welcome you. Here for the... All right. Well, welcome. Right there. Right there. All right. So what we're giving you is a CD holder with information about our center. Please stop by the foyer table out here and pick up a CD of a couple of Dr. Joe's talks. We welcome you if you're visiting the desert. Come back in the winter. No, I'm just kidding. Come back anytime. It's fabulous here. And if you're from the valley, we hope you come back. That wasn't very nice. You're welcome here any time of the year. Anytime. All right. So I think at this time, William, we're going to do our announcements. We're trying something new all the time. All right.
Thank you for joining us for this week's announcement at CSL Palm Desert. Join Reverend Ruth Ann Banner and Michael Kukuru this Wednesday in the Om Room from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's called Wednesday Wisdom Service. It's a service you will not want to miss. That's this Wednesday in the Om Room from 6:30 to 7:30 p.m. It's just a love offering. If you have a talent for singing and would like to bring joy to others, please join us for an informational meeting. That's this Wednesday, July 25th or August 29th from 1:30 to 3 p.m. The choir sings bedside for those in hospice or confined by illness or accident. This is a Desert Sunset Threshold Choir. Please join us Wednesday, July 25th or August 29th from 1:30 to 3 p.m. Get your midday dose of spirituality. Change your life and change the world. We call it Spirituality Shaken, Not Stirred. That's every day, Monday through Friday at 1 o'clock on Facebook. You can join us on the Facebook page for Center for Spiritual Living. You can participate, you can listen. That's every Monday through Friday at 1 p.m. Are you searching for positive talk radio here in the Coachella Valley? Well, now here's your opportunity. Our own Laura Meeks has a show called The Laura Meeks Show. It's weekdays from 4 to 5 p.m. It's on iHub Radio. Just go to iHubRadio.com and then click Listen to catch her show weekdays from 4 to 5 p.m. For more information on all the things that are happening at CSL Palm Desert, please refer to this week's bulletin.
All right. Reverend Jean Terrell, too. Reverend Jean, would you stand up? This is Reverend Jean. She's the one starting the choir. Please see her out there if you're interested. I think that's a wonderful outreach for our community. Thank you for doing that. This is our prayer ministry, part of our prayer ministry, just a little fraction of it. These are our practitioners. They will be over in the Om Room. If you are going through anything, please turn to our prayer team. They are powerful, and we do have miracles happening here because they see the truth. So you already heard what's happening here this week, so let me just do a closing prayer. Do you like the announcements at the end, or do you like them? You like that better? It kind of refreshes our mind of what's going on. So anyway, let's just take that deep breath and just recognizing that we have the power to control our lives. We control our reactions. We step into that power. And so we are each here to uplift each other, to see the truth of who each and every one of us is. And we are these powerful creators. We are creating this world, and we are doing it one heart at a time, and it starts with our heart. We take responsibility for how we react to how we see the world and how we interrelate with each other. So we always look for the good. We look for the perfection of every situation. Sometimes we have to look hard, but we look until we can see it, till we can see and understand the truth of who we are and of who we are part of. We are part of that divine. And so we live our life, each and every one of us, and I know this for each and every one of you, that you are perfect. You are a divine expression of that oneness in all areas of your life. So I know this is the truth. Therefore, I just let it be. And I love life. I love everything. And everything is whatever I make of it. And so I take responsibility. I let go and I let God. And together we say, and so it is. Amen. Have a wonderful week, everyone. If anyone sees a diamond earring, it's Jenny's on the floor.